When I was a kid, neither of my parents cooked very much, but when the end of August rolled around and the Jersey tomatoes were in their prime, my father and my mother both loved to make BLTs, and they made them on Wonder Bread. But today, on this episode of Camp Griddlemore, we are going to elevate the BLT. We are going to take every single ingredient and crank it up a notch and make the ultimate BLT, and we're going to do it with a side of fresh Jersey corn. So let's get camping and let's get cooking. The goal for our ultimate BLT is to elevate each of the ingredients. So we are going to use ciabatta rolls instead of Wonder Bread like my mom and dad did. We're going to use romaine lettuce instead of iceberg for a little bit of extra flavor. We're going to use thick cut bacon, which is going to work really, really well with this thicker ciabatta roll. And then we are going to do a special mayo with Duke's mayonnaise as the base, and it's going to have some rosemary, garlic, and jalapeno in it, and some butter. It is absolutely delicious. I've only made it one time before, came out good last time. Hopefully we can nail it today. Let's start by slicing up our tomatoes. When I was a kid, my grandfather had his own tomato garden, and at the end of August, he would slice up the tomatoes, put a little salt and pepper on, and just eat them plain, just like that, because Jersey tomatoes at the end of the summer are so good. And it's so funny because Sean has a similar story. He says that his grandfather was known as the guy that grew the best tomatoes in Lavallette, New Jersey. These are delicious. They're going to be perfect on our BLTs today. Now let's shred up our romaine lettuce. And remember, I love iceberg on a BLT just as much as the next person does, but we're stepping things up with romaine because it's a little bit more flavorful. And then let's also prep our veggies for our special mayo, which is going to have some butter in it, some diced rosemary, diced jalapeños, diced garlic, and a generous squirt of lemon. Now that our veggies are all prepped, let's fire up the side burner on our camping griddle and pour some water in there. And while it's coming to a boil, we will put our special mayo together for our ultimate BLT. We are going to throw down the garlic and the jalapeno first right onto the griddle top, and then we're going to add 1/4 of a stick of butter, which might not seem like a lot, but it's going to be plenty for our purposes today. After that, we'll throw on the rosemary, stir it up, mash it all up together, let it cook it up a little bit till it's just a little bit brown, and then we're going to scoop it off and put it into our mayo and mix it into our mayo, and we're going to leave the rest of the butter on the griddle top and use it to toast up our ciabatta buns. And I keep forgetting to mention that we're going to give our special mayo a healthy splash of lemon to give it a little bit of acidity and a little extra boost of flavor. Once our bread is toasted to perfection, we'll take it off the griddle and put our special mayo on the top side of the bun and give it a generous portion of that special mayo because it is one of the stars of this cook. After we do that, let's go down on the griddle top with our thick cut bacon. Our water is also at a boil right now, so let's get our Jersey corn in there and get that cooking as well. A la Todd Tovin, we are going to flip our thick cut bacon a lot so that we don't burn it. Helps us kind of control the cook. And then we're going to take it off and drain it on a paper towel and cut each piece in half. Now let's start to assemble our ultimate BLT. We're going to go down with 3 slices of bacon on the bottom of the roll. Then we're going to add our amazing Jersey tomato, and then we're going to put bacon on top of the tomato. We have a thick ciabatta roll here, so we need the rest of the sandwich to match that ciabatta roll. After we do that, we're going to add our shredded romaine lettuce, give it 1 more squirt of lemon, and top the sandwich and get ready to eat and enjoy. Our corn is also done, so let's plate that next to the ultimate BLT. Give it a generous amount of butter and some salt and pepper for the perfect side for our ultimate BLT. At the time we are recording this, it is a magical time in New Jersey. It is the very end of August. The tomatoes are perfect. The corn is perfect. I cannot wait to bite into this ultimate BLT. It looks so, so good. That is a little bite of heaven for me. The ciabatta bread is nice and crispy. The special mayo is off the hook. Chef Nathan Lippy mentioned this kind of idea to me. He would have made it magical. I was just trying to make it good, and it came through today. It is so, so bright, so fun, so delicious. The thick cut bacon works really, really well too because you've got that thicker ciabatta roll. I like the romaine in place of the iceberg. It's still got a crunch, but it's got a little bit more of that kind of natural green flavor that I love so much. And the star of the show is this Jersey tomato. It melts into your mouth. There's almost no texture to this tomato. It's almost just pure flavor. Now let's take a bite into this Jersey corn, which is also an important part of this late summer feast. Perfection. So sweet. The Jersey corn at the end of the summer is so sweet, so perfect. I'm gonna go typewriter style right around this thing, man. I think we need to go off camera so I can just devour this corn. This is the best BLT I've ever had in my life, to be honest with you. And it's just kind of one of those moments where I want to pinch myself because I made it. I did not grow up cooking, and this BLT is just as good as any BLT I've ever had in my life, and I actually think it's better. That special mayo comes together so nicely. There's such a nice balance of flavors with that rosemary, the jalapeno, the garlic, and the lemon. None of them overpower the other. They all just go togetherly. They all just go togetherly perfectly in this like end of the summer symphony. Sean, I'm still working on mine here, but it is time for you to bite into your own plate of the ultimate BLT with the side of Jersey corn. Now, I know that you say you don't like tomatoes, but you've got to try this. You got to take a bite. You've seriously like never liked tomatoes in your entire life. Have you ever had a tomato?
I have definitely had my fair share of tomatoes because my grandfather was like the king of growing tomatoes.
Did you get like lost in his tomato patch or something? Did you have like some kind of bad experience?
Yeah, I'm just not
a tomato garden.
Not a big tomato guy.
All right, well, at least take a no thank you bite. You're a Jersey guy. You've got to like at least try a Jersey tomato.
All right, I'll be honest. I don't hate it.
I think that, listen, it's not chewy, right? There's not a lot of texture to it. It's
I really expected to hate it. But I am enjoying it. It was good. The aioli sauce or special mayo.
I don't think we're going to call that an aioli. I don't think that's technically an aioli.
The special
aioli is garlic
mayo,
and olive oil based.
Delicious. Really good with the jalapeños. And it mixes really well with the bacon. I didn't know that would go well together, but it went really, really well.
Be honest, when I put down all that garlic and all of those diced jalapeños, didn't it look like overkill? But it doesn't come together that way.
I'm a fan of all that stuff. You can never go too much with that, but the smell of that on the griddle, I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smelled so good.
The smell of smell of the rosemary has been like made my day today.
Yeah.
And the smell of the rosemary, the garlic, and the jalapeños, like I would do that just to create the aroma.
Summer corn, some of my favorite stuff.
I mean, the last few weeks of August in New Jersey, the corn and tomatoes off the hook. What's the sweetness factor on that? What's the sweetness level?
This corn is delicious. I mean, there is nothing not to like about this. Oh my goodness.
All right, Camp Griddlemore, thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. This was kind of a special episode for me because like I mentioned, I did not grow up in a family that cooked. I have taught myself to cook over the years, and to go from those BLTs that I ate as a kid using Wonder Bread, which were great, and I'd eat one right now, to being able to make something like this on the griddle myself, it's kind of meaningful for me, not to be corny. I mean, I've come a long way as a camp cook, and I still got a long way to go. Also just loved using this 14-inch camping griddle with the side burners to be able to make the corn to go along with the BLT. It just, this griddle packs a punch. It's a great one to have at the campground. Loved every bite of the corn today, loved every bit of these BLTs, and that Jersey tomato certainly was the star of the show. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time on Camp Griddlemore.